Yes, yes, yeah. Oh, wrong podcast. I'm sorry.
With several billion members, the human race is divided in two distinct sexes, male and female. While men are simple creatures requiring only the most rudimentary of emotional needs to be satisfied, there is a subgroup classified as the nice guy, a dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex. Allegedly. However, they are dismissed, scoffed, and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone.
You don't think this is a little bit too dramatic? Just let it happen.
Joe and Jason are the last of the nice guys.
Welcome, everybody.
I don't know why you hate on that intro, that the way I start that other podcast. It's exciting. It brings up the energy.
I'll do another one. What's up, guys? Forget it. Wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
wrong.
shade.
Okay, wrong intro. What's up, guys? This is your host, Joe,
And co-host Jason.
and this is the last of the nice guys. We
are the last of the nice guys. Jesus, we just discussed this off camera. And we are the last of the nice guys.
and we. Didn't I say we?
You said, and this is the last of the nice guys.
Oh, sorry. And we are the last of the nice guys. Thank you for joining us and tuning in. We have a lot of juicy topics and a lot of controversy to share with you guys over the next couple of, I guess, weeks or forever, because hopefully this podcast will be on forever.
We'll see. We'll see how many times you make time to record. Yeah, I want to make it very clear to our audience that that any lack of content here there on forth is the blame of Joe and his inconsistent schedule. Or
But you know what though? Let me give you and the audience a little tidbit of something. I proudly own up to my bullshit, and most people cannot. So I understand that there are times where I cannot make it, or I said I can make it, but I can't, and things happen. I have a very hectic life, which I'm sure many people do, and probably many people have worse than me. I should say we have a hectic life because we both have offspring. We both deal with bullshit when it comes to, I guess, can I say their mothers?
yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Cool. I guess, when it comes to their mothers.
I make it very clear the bullshit that I deal with my offspring's mother is so minimal now that it's almost non-existent. I'm actually very, very happy. I mean, I will regale you guys with past stories, but I have to be very, very clear that she leaves me alone now. I gotta be real. I can go weeks without hearing from her, and even when I do, it's simple. It's everything I've always dreamed of. I've earned it after 15 years. But carry on.
Yeah, I can honestly proudly say, and I have to stress the word proudly by saying that, and a lot of people won't actually agree with this because they may think that this is some sort of an issue, or maybe I'm like knocking on mothers out there, single moms to be exact, but I'm not. I respect, all the, no matter what status you are, I don't care. I respect women in general. But the thing is that during certain circumstances or situations, you do have those women who become, as they say in this generation or the past couple of years, quote unquote baby mothers, and they do become somewhat of a pain. So
Toxic. We'd call them toxic baby mamas.
Pretty much, and we have dealt with that in our own way, because me and Jason have been dealing with this for Jason probably for 15 plus years, if not 16 or a little bit more than that, and me for about 10, 11 years. So we definitely know the toxic relationships when it comes to dealing with the child's mother. But aside from that, I'm on the same side as Jason because I don't deal with my son's mother at all. She's non-existent. And one thing actually we should talk about in the future is my son now has a phone and he's only 10. So
Well, I mean, my
how
offspring
do you feel
had
about that?
they had phones. I think at 8 and 9. The only reason why it took them, they stopped having is because they were, um, what's the word?
Abusing the power.
No, darn, what is the word?
I mean, if they
Oh,
weren't abusing the power, what were they doing with it?
no, they were. Oh my God, what is that word? You know when you're not
Neglecting,
irresponsible. They were
irresponsible. Oh.
irresponsible with it. They would lose the phone or misplace it, and then they actually lost the phone. So we came to the conclusion. It was one of the very few times that we came to the same conclusion that I said, yeah, no phones to their teenagers. So then they got it when they were teenagers, and now they're both fine because it was a teenager. So no, they got it at 8 and 9 at first, and they just couldn't. They were irresponsible. That was it. That's the only reason why that they didn't have it. So
I'm waiting for the time when I hear he lost his phone. I mean, I don't want it to happen, but I had to. You know what's funny about this too, and not to drag this topic on because we have like another big topic to talk about, which I'm very excited to talk about. But just real quickly, I had to unlock a lot of things on his phone, which were locked already from his mother, and the things that were locked already previously were very stupid. For example, my son's not an idiot. He doesn't do things or go on things that are not welcomed, and he doesn't go ahead and go on bad sites or you know
allegedly,
anyway, he doesn't go on bad sites and do anything stupid. He's very concerned about that. He's aware. But excuse me, but the things that she did lock was stuff like that he usually goes on and sees, which is YouTube. I'm sure you're familiar with. Your probably kids probably go on YouTube sometimes, if not a lot.
to the point where I don't know why I have cable TV, but yeah.
Ex- right, my point exactly. I have a Fire Stick and a PS4, and the boy seems to go on YouTube. I don't know what's so interesting about it, but I have seen what he watches, and she restricted that, and if any apps that were supposed to be downloaded by him, it would need to be permission from her. I got rid of that because that's stupid. Now, for his brother, that would have made sense because he's irresponsible and goes ahead and buys everything, every app, no matter whose account it's on, doesn't matter, he'll buy it. I don't like that. But my son, he's different. I'm not trying to like boost my son's ego and because he's my son, but he is really he's really responsible in that sense. But besides that, I would like to ask you a question, Jay, and this is something that I know you're familiar with because you had a recent incident that occurred on this same topic that we're about to talk about. And my question is,
Are we about to get into the topic?
I would love to because I'm really anxious about talking about
Okay.
this.
So before we get into it, though, I want to make it very clear that even though this podcast is only really just beginning now, we already have a lot of feedback. So I actually have
Right.
a comments. I have comments to read on the podcast. So I want to shout out Scary Stories podcast, Darflex, and Squeezy Bits for their comments on our Instagram. We do have Instagram. Oh, we didn't even talk about our social media. See, this is why we need an outline. We need an outline. All right,
Okay.
all right. We have social media.
I was trying to avoid the outline.
What? You want to do what?
Trying to avoid the outline. Shit.
We're gonna need an outline because we can't forget this. All right, so before we get into it, you see, and guys, bear with us because this is a very loose podcast and we're still feeling ourselves out. That's what she said.
Freestyling. We're freestyling.
So we're gonna jump back and forth. So of course you got our little, prologue there. We talked about our, baby mamas, and now we're gonna get into the social media. So real quick, you can follow us on social media for brand recognition. It's the Last Nice Guys. That's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can email us at lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com. So again, for Twitter, Instagram, for Facebook, it's last nice guys. So at Last Nice Guys. But to email us, it's lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com. So I got the Yahoo.
Don't forget that of. Don't forget that of.
Yes. So it's Last of the Nice Guys. So it's funny because, and that's my fault because I got our YouTube, our Yahoo email before I checked if Last of the Nice Guys was available on Twitter and Instagram and whatever, and they weren't. So Last Nice Guys became the brand for everything social media except the email. So by all means, guys, Jump on there. You'll see updates from Twitter. You'll see our random posts. We, usually put up something up there that's, nice guy related or friendship related or relationship related that you guys can then comment. And I usually ask you guys, gentlemen, and of course all you guys that are listening to us, that are male, or gentlemen, ladies, do you what is it? What do I usually say? Do you identify, or do you recognize, something like that? So I always put that question out there so we can start a discussion. We would
Of
love to have a
course.
discussion, because
Yes.
everything we talk about, everything we talk about, I'll be real with you, Joe and I have already spoken about all these years. We're just we're just we're just updating it for what's going on presently in our lives,
Right.
and hoping that you guys will join the conversation. That is it. We're the last of the nice guys. Join the conversation.
And by all means, please, if you have any questions or concerns that, like, not concerns, but more so
No
questions that you
concerns.
would like,
Concerns.
well, definitely, I guess concerns. Yeah, you're right. If you have any topics or concerns or questions that you'd like to ask us so we can talk about it, do not hesitate to tell us. Drop us an email, go on social media, make a comment, whatever you got to do. We will
Yeah.
talk about it.
and
We
and
will talk
and,
about it.
and even if you want to call us pieces of shit, or
Yeah, even if you don't
or
agree,
yeah, by all
yes.
means, we are not going to not double negative uh, read your comment on our podcast just because it's negative. We will read it. We'll read it, but understand, we will respond. So it may be just in the same vein as you sent it to us. It may be even different. We may even
Right.
agree with you. So
Right.
and if it's really really hot and steamy, we might even invite you on the podcast to debate the topic. Again, join the conversation. With that being said, let's discuss. So scary podcast stories. No, scary stories podcast. That is their Instagram. They said, "Oh, this is so sweet," and laugh out loud origin story. So they're talking about the pilot episode. Now, the pilot episode was posted on YouTube maybe a month ago or so,
About a
or
month
so,
ago, yeah.
about a month ago. So, and the 4-part special is actually on our IGTV now. Because it was so long, I'm actually, that's what she said, I'm gonna put it on our podcast as well. So you're actually listening to episode 1 of the Last of the Nice Guys podcast. Episode 0 of the pilot episode is the behind the scenes, the full uncut origin story of why we decided to do this, why we named it this, why did
Yes.
Joe beg me to do this with him, and basically all that stuff. Darth Flex commented also on our Instagram, show more skin, because in that episode, I guess Joe was wearing a wife. Do they still call them wife beaters? What do they call
I
them
I
now?
I think so, yeah.
Or
I think so.
sleeveless?
Yeah.
He's wearing
I think
a
it's
sleeveless
wife
tank,
beaters, yeah.
wife beaters,
I,
or
yeah.
sleeveless tank tops. So that's what they're referring to.
I
And
don't like the term wife beaters, by the way. I think it's
I
weird.
don't care. I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
why
fine.
they even named that. I don't know how that
I-
even got out into the
How
consciousness.
did it even happen? I think we have to make that a topic. So.
We should. Back in the old days when we used to beat our wives. Which is why I'm still single, and he's somehow got somebody to tie the knot with, allegedly. He's got something on her, from what I heard.
Yeah.
So on
Okay.
our pilot episode posted to YouTube, and that's YouTube. It's youtube.com/Viber Studios. That is the studio that I manage and that I produce my stuff through, and that you will see all the video recaps of this. If you actually want to watch the nonsense,
And he does
Squeezy
a
Bits,
great
who
fucking
is
job.
a fantastic dude. Squeezy Bits, his name is Ralph, good guy. He said, "Yo, I hate using juvenile cunnilingus, but this is fire. Y'all putting yourselves out there like that is pretty wow. Keep it up. Already a big fan. I thought I was the only one that got blitzed when I heard the news. What? Blitzed when I heard the news? I was going to. Oh, I gotta go online. There's more to that than that. I gotta find it. But yeah, he just thank you, Squeezy Bits, for
Thank you.
cheering us on already. We really
Yes.
appreciate it. Yes, we are
Yes.
putting ourselves out there, but you know what it is though. You can't ask anybody to do what you're not willing to do yourself. So if we can't ask you guys to join the conversation, we're not willing to start the conversation. So with that being said, now we can officially start episode 1 of the Last of the Nice Guys podcast. Joe,
So
maybe should we say how to find us on social media before we start, or should I be there? We need an outline.
we need an outline, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna rock for a couple more episodes by doing freestyle. I will get the hang of it. I am not a veteran like you. I am not a veteran.
What we need is just an intro and an outro. So we say this. That's the same thing, but we remember. Because as I'm talking, remember, we need to tell our. If you want to reach me, I'm Jason. You can check me out on Twitter or on Instagram That's Viberev Studios. That's VIBEREVSTUDIOS. You can see all my studio work and get to know me a little deeper, Joe.
You can find me on Instagram. I only have an Instagram and Twitter. I would give my Facebook, but it's just I usually use that for news. I'll be honest with you. So I just have Instagram and Twitter, Twitter to actually answer
Okay,
questions and stuff like
really.
that.
Apparently, Twitter is Facebook's for old people. I'm pretty sure your son said it to you too.
He did actually, but he
Yeah.
actually asked when to make one, and I said absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, he said.
Well,
I said no though. Never in your life. But
unfortunate.
so yeah, so you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and my Twitter name is JoeTarrro, and my Instagram is JoeTarrro.
Uh,
Two R's on Instagram, three on Twitter.
um,
Yeah, I know. Shut up, Jason.
no.
I don't care.
Okay, I'm sorry, Joe. Now, 15 minutes in, which is why we need an outline. Now we can get to today's topic. Joe, by all means.
So, and by the way, like I said, I will get the hang of the intro. Trust me, we will do an outline. We got that down packed. Don't worry about it. So I've been anxious about this topic, and I've been very excited about it. So Jay, I have a real simple and easy question. I guess easy because we're both men and we understand things a little better. Shade, and
Ooh.
we're definitely gonna get feedback for that one. And
Yeah, we will. Can't wait.
I can't wait. So, you have been in an not incident, a situation recently where you were.
I've been in an incident.
I I thought of the incident for a moment because I'm like everything in our lives is like basically a fucking incident sometimes. You have been in a situation slash incident that occurred where you were on a date, and from what I understand, what you told me, my memory is pretty shitty, but from what I understand, what you told me, the woman had expected you to pay for the entire date, was it? Or expected you
Are
to
we are we doing
shell
my
out?
are we doing my topic or we're doing your topic?
No, let's do yours because I've been wanting to talk
Okay,
about this for
well
a while.
then
I
well
have
then
I
well then
have
I should be introducing it because you're butchering the story.
no, well, the reason why I'm talking about this because I have incidents as well, over the past at least 3 to 4 years that I can actually bring up and talk about. So, and because this is the most recent one that you had went through that you told me about, I want to share it because I have a lot to say about this.
So
So,
today's topic
yeah,
is should men pay? And that is gonna be the title of the topic. Now, recently something went down with me and a girl that I was seeing. It actually went down officially on July 5th, so it was fairly recent. And uh, it brings up the topic: should guys pay? Now, basically, the long story short is the woman in question that I was seeing was expecting me to pick her up from after I got out of work, and it's not a problem. And the text said, and I from memory because I don't feel like reading it. It basically said, "Babe, you should come pick me up after work so I can spend the most time with you, and I have some bills you need to help me out with."
that was it. I'm sorry.
And
I think
that
I was confusing my incident with yours.
I
Okay,
think
go ahead.
I think you are.
Yeah.
And so, of course, my first reaction was, I'll see if I can help, but don't you think it's a little too soon to be relying upon each other for financial support? She said, no, not at all. But I'm curious, why do you think so? And I said, well, we've only been dating for 1 month and a day. So we
1 month.
literally 1 month,
1 month.
1 month and 1 day.
One
So
month, ladies and gentlemen. One. I'm
yes,
sorry. I had to
yes,
stress that.
four weeks in a day, 1 month in a day, and it's not a joke because we officially got together on my birthday, and this is 1 month later, a day after. So it was literally a month and a day. And I said, well, we've only been dating for a month and a day, and I believe certain this kind of behavior is earned with time,
Right.
and it's kind of weird. And so she basically without, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is what the impression is. She said that in her time, there's never been a time limit about when a man should be able to hold down a woman when she needs it. That should be one of his priorities, is to make sure that his woman is financially secure. That she's giving me the most valuable part of her, which is her time,
Right.
and that she will not. It's a requirement, quote, hands down, and she will not accept anything less than what she deserves.
Right.
Those were the main topics that she said to me, and of course I shot back saying, you're not asking me, you're telling me. I don't know why you believe your time is more important than my time.
Right.
She said her time belonged only to her kids, and whatever she's giving me is valuable. I said I
Right.
have kids too, and I don't feel that way. I think that um, she said, because I'm a single mother of three, and you being a single father, you could identify with the struggle. And I said, yes, I can identify with the struggle, but I've never in my time ever asked somebody I was dating at all to hold me down financially. I've never done that. And I never would, because
Right.
that's not, I don't know if I can't say if I would never would, but maybe if I would, we've been dating for a hot minute. We're probably living together at this
Mhm.
point.
Yeah.
So, um, that's just stuff that was said, and basically it all broke down. We don't talk anymore. We that thing ended. As much it flamed out, and everybody that I've brought this up to, both men and women, they've all, I don't want to say sided with me, but they all said, "What is she? Who does she think she is?"
Right.
Asking, demand. I call it. She said she didn't demand anything, but when you say it's a requirement, when you say, "I expect this,"
Right.
that's a damn. You're demanding. You didn't
What
ask me,
what you told me and showed me that sounded like a
right?
demand.
And
Yeah.
yes, and I did of course show Joe Taro the receipts. He saw the whole
Yes.
conversation. He knows what I said, and knows what wasn't said, and I think I reacted appropriately due to the fact that I thought this girl was one way, and it threw me off. But the thing though is that she said it with such um not compassion, so compelling, that I
Yeah.
even questioned whether I was wrong for
Right.
not
Right.
just selling out money. That's why I went to my boy Joe. That's why I went
So
to my
convincing. So
my girl
convincing. It
Holly.
sounded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. She was like, wait a minute, am I wrong for saying this? Am I wrong for feeling this way? So that's what I'm posing the question here to you, the audience, and what me and Joe are going to discuss. Why is it that men are supposed to pay? And I mean in general, whether it be holding you down for your bills, whether it be paying for the first date, whether it be buying you flowers and bringing you home stuff.
Right.
Why is it that, especially now in this day and age with the Me Too movement and women empowerment, they still cling to, well, a man's got to pay. A man's going to take me out. A man's going to treat me like a queen. Why is this tradition or this old school mentality still there? You know that I'm on. Okay, you're not. This is funny about you. You're not on dating sites. I'm on Tinder. I'm on Bumble. I'm on POF.
Right.
They are so brazen now that they literally say, "I'm looking for somebody to spoil me. Here's my Cash App. Hit me up with Cash App. I want a sugar
Wow.
daddy. I'm a sugar baby." They are so bold now. They put this in their profiles.
So you know they have specific
Yeah,
sites and places for what they're asking for.
they do.
It's called the street.
That too, and it's also called, what is sugardaddies.com. I don't care, but the fact is that, okay. Anyway, so with that being said, let's discuss today's topic. Should men pay?
Yes. So that story in itself should give you an idea of how I should say how different today's society is when it comes to enforcing rules. No matter how long you guys have been talking, whether it be a man
Yeah,
man, woman man woman, whatever. Um, and the idea that we should be uh, forced or uh, subjected to pay,
expected, right?
expected to pay for everything. And especially like I understand, like something that gets me is that what you said before. I understand if you've been with somebody for a long time.
Mhm.
Let's just say at least.
Well, before you get into that, let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
Have you ever come out of pocket to pay a bill of a woman, or do something outlandishly lavish because she's asked it or she's deserved it? Have you been in a position where you've done that, where you've been the man? I've done it before. And
hundred
I'm not
percent.
saying I'm never saying I've never done it before, but usually it's somebody that I've known for a while that I appreciate. There's one story, my God, that I go all out for a woman. But I knew her for years, and I thought we were, and I thought we were dating for several months before,
Right.
and it was my choice. She didn't even ask. I chose. Nobody demanded it of me. So I'm asking you: have you ever, by choice or demanded, or stepped up to the plate, or been asked? Have you ever shelled out money for a woman like that?
100%. A couple times actually,
Yeah.
and it like I have to bring this up again, but the timing.
Mhm.
and the longevity of how long you've been with somebody really matters,
It does matter.
because
That's what
that
I'm saying.
means
It does
is it,
matter.
the longer you put into somebody, the longer that, I mean, and it's genuine. That means that you are putting in time and effort, and when
Hmm.
time and effort comes into play, the next fucking thing that comes into play is money. So you're
Yes.
putting time, effort, and money into that person, not
Mhm.
because you are feeling obligated to, or because it's your status, or because it's the fact that you're a man or you're a woman. It's because you love the person.
Exactly.
I have been in situations where I have completely shelled out for bills, for food,
Hmm.
and um,
But
I never.
how long have you been with with these individuals before you did such a thing?
Well, it depends because
Well, I'm not
I
judging. I'm
had,
just
yeah,
curious.
no, I had a situation similar to yours that happened to your story, but this was years ago though. This is when I was in my heydays, when we were in our 20s, early 20s.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's wow.
that's yeah, and I had a similar situation where it was okay, we are seeing each other for about a month or two or three. I think it was about
Mhm.
3 months. And guess what? Every time we go out to eat, no matter what it is, pay. Oh, I got a phone bill. I can't talk to you on the phone unless you pay for it.
Mm.
That was the statement that I had, a comment.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I should say I learned my lesson from that over the years,
Right.
and I understood that being with somebody who talks like that all the time is not someone who I feel like I should be growing with or
Of
building with.
course.
Because down the line, let's just say, God forbid, I happen to lose a job, or I happen to get really sick, or I break both legs, or whatever the hell it is. How am I supposed to earn income? Now the income stops, then what are you going to do? You're going to go on to somebody else. You're going to do
Of
something
course.
stupid. You
Of
have all these
course.
ideas and motions come to you, and guess what? I'm going to find out, and that's it. It's over. So
Hmm.
I don't particularly. I never liked the idea of that. I never liked the idea of being forced to shell out cash. If it's something that, again, if there's longevity and it's genuine, and I love you and care about you, I have no problem. Now I have been in situations like right now. I'm going in 3 years with my current fiance. I'm engaged. We're at that stage right now where it doesn't really matter. We help each other out, and
Hmm.
not really a good example to bring up, but it's one that we used to talk about in our first year being together, which was um,
Right.
we
How would you guys share the couples counseling bills, right?
yeah, of course, the couples counseling because you're a fucking asshole.
Sorry, it was getting too
I
serious.
knew it.
I had
I
to
knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. It was coming. It was coming.
yeah. I was
Um,
getting too serious. I had to throw it in there a little bit.
but we no, we had conversations and we actually had a recent one about it where we looked back at our then argument that we had the first year about you know, her whole ideology is you should be paying for every dinner,
Hmm.
period. Even if the bill is like 500, pay that shit. Now, now, now,
Pay that shit.
so, so now it's actually a different story. Now it's we've grown more mature with each other, more wiser. We've grown in general, and we see that we help each other out in that aspect. But that's only because we have been through those arguments of, oh, you're paying for this, you're doing that, and you're doing that. And
Hmm.
I tested with that. I argued because I was like, I don't believe in that. I believe in
Hmm.
the fact that I don't mind paying for you and spoiling you, but you have to like show longevity. You have to
Hmm.
be in it to win it. I can't just
You've got to, God forbid, earn that behavior, not
yes.
expect it up front.
So with your situation, I thought that was kind of fucked up. Not even kind of, really fucked up because
No, yeah, it was.
I didn't think that that was right. I feel like I don't know. I feel like you should have said much worse to her instead of playing with her. I feel like you should have said much worse and been more passive aggressive. But that's me though, because I know how you are, and I know you have a way with words, and you can mind fuck a lot of people. I've seen it before. Ladies and gentlemen, this man can do a lot when it comes to words, and it's hilarious. So fucking. Um, I can tell you a couple stories, but we'll talk about that in a different podcast. But
Yeah. We'll do flashback or reminiscing specials. Let's do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. do you honestly, Jay? Do you honestly think that um if you would have stayed in that situation, and let's just say you would have done that for her, do you
Right.
think it would have changed? It would have been the same, right? Constantly, it would
You
have been
know,
like this, this, and this, and this.
I don't know. I don't know. Look. You're right. I should have said a lot more. I should have been a lot more blunt. But I was on the fence because I kind of like this girl. One, she's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. Oh my God.
It's a bit,
Okay.
yeah.
And anybody knows I'm a sucker for a pretty face. I am. I'm a sucker for a pretty face, and it takes a lot for me to have to dismiss you. If I'm attracted to you. So I was trying to understand where she was coming from, and I was trying to dig her out of the hole she dug herself. When
Right.
she basically when she basically made it a requirement, I was trying to understand. Maybe you used the wrong word. Maybe you meant to ask me. I'm trying to, but as she doubled down, I mean, she doubled down and tripled down on her words. I began to realize I got no business being with this woman. I've got to, especially when she dismissed the conversation at the end. She's like, "Well, that's it. Agree to disagree, whatever." This conversation is going nowhere. I'm like, that's it. Okay, cool. If you wanna dismiss it, fine. I'm
Right.
trying to understand you because this is not the girl that I met.
Right.
There's in
Right.
no way, no how did she ever make it sound like, listen, I might give up the goods, we might kiss or date a little bit, but we're gonna
Did
pay
she,
for
did
this,
she, did she think because you have two kids, you have your own place, you got a good stable job, and you're doing what you're supposed to do? Did she
Mhm.
think that, like, oh, okay, he got
Well, that's what I said to her. Is like, you're making this demand of me, but you don't even know what my financial situation is. You know what I'm saying?
exact
Yeah,
exact
yeah. I have. Listen, I got a pretty decent sized apartment. I'm right now sitting in an annex part of my studio. I have two kids. I have a
you think
car, I have a
this
job. I've got
apartment.
I've got passion. I got goals. I do things with my life. Yes, but it doesn't mean that I'm money bags. I just took my son to. I just took my son to. Let's be real. Let's get real to it. I just took my son to Texas de Brazil, which is each plate is $50. Okay, flat.
Ooh,
Each plate is $50 at
god
this place.
damn.
I took my son and myself and my other son. So that's flat fee 150 flat.
At
The bill
least.
was two. The bill was 267. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, and then I took him to
That's a
dessert.
used PS4, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
Exactly. That exactly. Okay. I took him to, and then I took him to a little dessert place, and I spent another $90 at this dessert place. Okay. For his 15th birthday. That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Please believe I had to budget for this. I budgeted for this event. I took 2 months of paychecks and budgeted to make sure I had enough disposable income to shell out for this. This is just, oh, all right, ready to go. Let's go.
Right.
When I take a woman out on a date, I budget for it.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
disposable income there, but I budget for it. I can't just
Exactly.
get up one day and say I'm going to Disney. No, I want to go to Disney, but let me plan it a month in advance. Let me give me a month to prepare.
Right.
So, in no way, no how do I portray Mr. Moneybags, or but am I comfortable? Am I doing my thing? Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
But I'm not that guy. So, and I don't portray myself to be that guy. So I don't see how she would have gotten that from me, unless a few times that I Ubered her home and she lives pretty far. She thought, oh wow, he can drop,
Oh yeah,
40.
because that's the icing on the cake when they
I'm just
see
saying
that.
that. Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying these Ubers were expensive, man. It was 40, $45
No,
Uber.
no, but that's what I'm saying. I was being
Right.
sarcastic and passive
Exactly. So
in the
maybe she
sense
thought,
where it's like, oh, she probably thought, God, he
yeah,
just he took a,
yeah, if he can just drop me, and if he can just Uber me home and just toss $40 out of the way, he's got to have it. I don't know. I don't think so. What she was thinking. I don't know what she was thinking, and it sucks because I never will know because I'm probably sure I'll never speak to her again. That's just the reality of it. She
It's-
because if probably in her own mind, I disrespected her by not saying, okay, babe, here it is, but by challenging her and asking for more
right,
clarification. So,
right,
and downright saying you're nuts. Yeah, downright said that. I said, I'm like, you have to be crazy. I don't know. I don't know what guys you've dated in the past, but I don't do that, especially not anymore. I said, not even the old Jason. I called him the sucker, the duck, the throw rug. Not even he would accept being talked like that by
right.
by by a woman. So Jason, as I am now, the one who's like, dating ain't no thing. I wasn't having it. So,
Yeah,
but the funny thing though is that I have gone out of my way for women in the past. Now I'm not saying I chose. I disputed or debated with her because of my past. No, I just learned that this behavior needs to be earned, and even when it is earned, it can still be abused. I have a
Right.
great story where I was where I was dating this woman, and I say I was dating her because she obviously wasn't dating me. I was dating this woman. No, that's how I look at it. Trust me.
I remember
I
the
was dating
story.
her.
Yeah.
Yes, I was dating her. She wasn't dating me. And I reached out to her and I said, you know what? On paper, you and I are perfect. We should try dating. And we went out originally in 2009 randomly, but it didn't really work out because of misunderstanding. But we
Right.
came back together, and we kept in contact. We always supported each other's dreams. She could call up upon me for anything. She's always looking out for me to further my job, my dream. I helped her out with her school projects. I helped her out with law firm stuff. So it worked out. So when you have somebody like that in your life, you're like, is that what you want from a relationship? Somebody that's there. And we were there. We were still in contact. There was still an attraction there.
Right.
You know, so I asked her out, and we went on some very very elaborate dates. Oh my God.
But what do you
I
mean
had
elaborate in terms of like expensive?
yeah, expensive but also flashy dates. Very flashy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Stuff that very like you were paying more for the experience than you were for the food, kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
Like any experience like Barton G's. I took her to Barton G's, and it was recommended to me, and I was like, whatever. But that place, the food was decent, but the showmanship, oh my God, the pictures and the view that we took, wow. I took her to this place called the little chalet. That was a fondue place,
Right.
but like an expensive fondue place, i.e., 150 flat,
Fondue.
120
I
flat.
never understood fondue. By the way, but go ahead.
Fondue's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool. It was okay. It was a three-course meal. It was a cheese fondue as an appetizer. You had all these different breads and all the different cheeses. You just dipped it into cheese. Then you had the actual entree, which was different meats, from chicken to
Right.
shrimp to filet mignon to skirt steak, and you take it raw and you put it in the thing and you cook it as long as you want and you eat it. You had all these dipping sauces, and then the third thing was a white chocolate dessert fondue. Okay.
That's okay. That's very
Look,
exquisite. That's very exquisite.
I know,
Extremely exquisite.
I know, but for this girl, I thought she earned it. I gave her my A++ game. See what I'm trying to say? And then furthermore, she, her car got well, I didn't know at first, but her car got repossessed. And
Yes. You told me this.
yes, her
Yes.
car. Yeah, I thought it was in a shop. Her car got repossessed. I finally got found out because what happened was, when her car was missing in action, and I thought it was being repaired. She was like, listen, this is what's going on with me. I kind of want to. Well, I think I got to focus more on this. And I said, I'm trying to be his girl's boyfriend relationship. I decided I chose to step up to the plate. So I chose to wake up earlier from my house, pick her up, take her to work, go to my job, get off my job, pick her up, have her drop me off at school, her
Yeah.
take my car back to her place, then pick me up from school, and then I take her home, then I went home. Stuff
Right.
like that.
Right.
That's how complicated. And I did that for an entire summer. I'm talking about 2, 3, maybe
So
4 months.
pretty much your summer was wasted.
No, well, in hindsight, it was, but I thought I was doing the right thing. I said, you know what? I'm stepping up to the plate. He's having a hard time financially. He's having a hard time with these things. Let me step up to the plate. Let me see what I can do. And I also helped financially with getting her car out of repossession.
I remember that.
I
Yes.
did help that too. I don't remember if I paid the repo fee or if I paid the fee to get it out of the impound, but I gave her a chunk of change.
Repossessions of cars are not pretty,
Cheap,
man. They're ugly.
yeah, cheap. So, and I did this, but I did it because I wanted to, because I thought she was worth it. Because I said, you know what, she means something to me, And again, I thought that I was dating her, whatever. So in the end, this same girl, after all I've done, and I did a little more, we finally go out on our fourth date. It's gonna be something simple because I literally just shelled out a chunk for her car to get
A
out.
chunk, a big
Yeah.
chunk.
So and and we go on our fourth date. I never forget, it's at Margaritaville, and what me and her used to do.
I remember that place. I actually been
Yeah,
there.
nice place.
Yeah.
What we used to do back when we first were dating was we would take an iPad, we'd watch some conspiracy documentary, and we'd lay in the sand at the beach, and watch it. So I said, let me reinvoke that. So let's go out to eat. Let's get some drinks. I'll bring a pillow and a blanket. We'll watch a little documentary in the beach, and that'll be about it. And I'll restart the romance there. And because she was stressed out, now we're good to go. We can finally start like really making this relationship work. And I shit you not, I'm walking, big comforter, two pillows. I'm walking from the what is it called? The parking lot. We walk. Okay, I'm holding on to it all inside of Margaritaville as we're talking. I'm holding on to it all inside of sitting at the table. We just order our drinks. We just order our food, and then she drops the bomb. So I was talking to my friend, and I told her everything you did, and she's like, "Well, you should pretty much be in love with this guy by now, right? But how do you feel?" And she's like, "Well, blah." She's like, "Oh," she's like, "Well, my friend told me that, I'm probably I think I'm over you. I'm not, feeling it." And she's like, I think we would be better off as friends." And I look at her, and I shit you not, I look at her, and I shit you not, I had this grin on my face, like just like that. And she said, "Don't you agree?" And you know what I said out loud? No! Just like that. I was so floored. I said, "No, I do not agree." She's like, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you're saying this to me. I said, "You're surprised?" I said, "Do you think that everything that I did for you this summer, up until where we're sitting right now, was because I wanted to be your friend? I thought we were dating." And basically she's like, "Oh, well," she's like, "Well, other guys have surprised me too," and came. And I said, "Who? When?" Because you don't get it. I'm not exaggerating. We saw each other every single day, Monday through Sunday to Saturday, every day for months, because she had worked 2 jobs.
Right.
So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, when I had my kids, it was I wake up early. They were still sleeping. I would pick her up, drop her to her job, go back to my kids, tend to my kids, go to my job. After my job, go and pick her up. She would then no, after my job, on days that I have my kids, I would go pick up my kids, drop them home, go
Yeah.
pick her up.
Yeah.
If I had school, me to school, take my car, come back and get me, then I would take her home, and I would go home. On the days
Right.
I didn't have my boys, it was I woke up early anyway, picked her up, dropped her to her job, went to my job, went back, picked her up, had her drop me to school, come back for me, I take her back home, and whatever. On the weekends, I would, before I decided a different way, on weekends, I would wake up early, Saturday and Sunday, I'd pick her up, I would take her to her job, I'd come home, I'd wait till she calls me, I'd pick her up from her job, and then
Right.
I would go home. Then I got kind of tired of it. So I said, okay, how about this? Friday, since I never go anywhere,
Yeah.
Friday, I'll pick you up from work. I will drive myself home. You will take
Yes.
my car for the weekend and bring it back to me on Sunday so I can pick up my kids, and I'll take you home and we'll start the whole process over again. This is the shit that I did the entire summer, 3 or 4 months. This is not a. When she said to me there were other guys that stepped up to the plate, that surprised me. I literally looked at her and said, "Who? When? Where were they?"
Because
I
you
looked at her and
basically
said,
did
"If you
all the work. You did all the work.
exactly,
You shelled out
I
all the
was with
money.
her. I was with her all the time, so I didn't know like when did this happen?" So I'm like, unless you tell me that some dude was standing by your house to surprise you, which is probably what happened.
Right.
So and of course I did this. So I'm only mentioning this story because I'm not saying that douchebag that will not be chivalrous, will not be there. So when this girl just most
By the way,
recently tried me, and I
we
said
are
no.
very chivalrous. By the way, we are very, very chivalrous.
Exactly. But the thing is that I've been burnt enough because and again, nothing I did for this girl in question was asked, but she did accept it, and she did take advantage of it. I stepped up to the plate. Nothing that I'm complaining about was I suckered into. I volunteered that. I was a jackass. Trust me. I
Right.
understand that. You guys want to tell me. I know I was a jackass. I did it. But she accepted it. And then she knew why I was doing it, and in my opinion she took advantage of it. She
Of
did.
course.
And then she rejected me under the pretense that there were other guys that are around. And I'm just like, okay, well, where
Of
were they?
course.
And I even
Yeah.
looked at her and I said, why didn't you, if there wasn't other guys that were around that you were more interested in or that were doing stuff, why didn't you sub me out? Say, thanks, Jay. All right, someone's gonna handle it. It's a pleasure. And she couldn't answer me. She said, I guess I backed you or some crap like that. I looked at her and said, doesn't make any sense.
Right.
If you had other guys that were around, okay, and I know at least one guy wanted to rent her a car because I was
Right.
in because he had called her while I was driving with her, and I told her, listen, I don't mind if you
Right.
want to take advantage of that offer, go for it. I won't feel any way about it because I'm secure. Listen, I'm secure. The last thing Jason can ever say he is jealous. I'm secure. If you feel confident, do it, whatever. But she's like, no, because he's gonna want something, whatever. And I was just like, all right, whatever. But
Right.
if that's because I'm just trying to make what is more convenient for you, and our arrangement wasn't really that convenient.
Right.
It worked. I don't
But
know
it wasn't.
by the
It wasn't
grace,
convenient. It wasn't convenient
but
at
it
all.
wasn't convenient for
No,
anybody.
not
So
at
you
all.
know what I'm saying? So and that was it. Now, do I still speak to this girl? No. Not that I'm mad at her.
Thank
And,
God.
and she did reach out to me weeks afterwards, and said that she wanted to start paying me back for the money that I gave her. And I did say, listen, I didn't do it for you to pay it back, but if you want to, by all means, you can start. And she's like, okay, fine. She was like, okay, I'm processing, okay. And I've never seen a single cent. Never.
Of
Not
course
even
not.
a little. It never
Of
came
course.
back. Again, not that I'm ever gonna bug her about it, not that I'm ever gonna demand it, but it never came back. You would think your own conscience would make you do it. And now she's back on top of the game. She's traveling again. She's going to the spas and whatever. She's
So,
back on her game.
AKA, because you're now out of her life, she feels much more happier now.
Well,
She's much more sick.
no. Yeah, exactly, right, right. So,
So,
so the moral of that story is though is that I've been there. I've been that guy, and I
right.
said after her, never again. Not never again, like as in like never again, but never again will I just jump into it, or will I extend myself to a woman that I care about, without really knowing where we stand,
Right.
without
Because
really
you,
that
you, you,
kind of tenure.
right. Because you put yourself out there,
Yeah.
and you put yourself out there, and you decided that let me take a shot at this thing called caring about somebody who
Okay. Oh my God, can you imagine?
allegedly cared about me.
Allegedly,
And
allegedly.
yeah, allegedly is the word that we're going to be using a lot of, ladies and gentlemen, by the way.
Yes, yes, of course that
So,
we are aping from another podcast. By the way, I'm just going to make it very clear. This is not. This is a term we're stealing that from another podcast that we were both associated with. Watch Geek
so
Bros. Every
yeah.
Wednesday. WeBeGeeksPC.com.
sponsors. So yeah.
Yeah, send
Anyway,
us free stuff. Geek Bros, send us free stuff. Could you imagine? We're talking to ourselves. We should. Me and you should have like a rivalry with our alternate egos, Vibe and Jotaro, and we should have like. Could you
would be
imagine?
amazing.
Could you
Be absolutely
imagine?
amazing. Holy sh-
Fuck you, Vibe. You ain't shit.
So do you know? I want to also bring just an off-topic thing. The viewers.
Yeah.
The reason why when you guys see this, check this out on YouTube or wherever Jason posts this up in the video. I've been moving around a lot because my laptop was about to die, and I had to convince my son to go get the charger. And
No, but
I'm
I'm
like,
so used. I'm so
yeah.
used to moving around. I didn't even question it. Thank you for letting them know. I wasn't even gonna question it.
I'm like moving around. I'm like doing shit, and I'm like texting. I'm like, could you please get me the fucking charger? So yeah, that's what I was doing. But aside from that little drawback, I think that the moral of all of this is if you really are aiming to be in a serious relationship, and please,
Mhm.
by the way, point this out before you even step into something with somebody. Like,
Oh God, please.
tell them what you want, man. Like, for example, Jay just mentioned how he's been on dating sites and they're being blunt about what they want. That's fine.
And you have to respect that.
Fine.
I criticize it, but I respect that because guess what? You let me swipe left. Thank you very much for letting me know.
Exactly. And he will be swiping left so much when it comes to that his fucking automatic his phone would probably think that it's automatic from now
Yeah,
on.
pretty much. Like
When,
Tim was
when it,
gonna say, you've been disqualified.
yeah, like it's and I know him because I know he would never fall for that shit ever again. So, but yeah, you got to have a lot of respect for women and men actually. Men are
Yeah.
not the one. I'm not gonna say women are the only ones who do this shit and they're the predators and they always come out looking for stuff like that. Men do this too, and you'd be surprised if you look. They are the same. They can be the same gold digging type.
Oh
You know,
yeah. Oh yeah.
that's
Absolutely.
That's definitely has happened. I've actually witnessed it before. Funny
Yeah,
thing
of
about that.
course. I
Yeah.
mean, there are what I call opportunistic men. Is that, and they do it, they absolutely do. But in my opinion, the opportunistic men are a little bit more overt about it. Women are more covert. They're I don't say underhanded, but their actual goals, if they don't state it outright, are it's like layers. It's like it's subtext. It's implied. But in my opinion, men have always been. I don't say we're not that smart or that conniving, but most men don't have time for. Let me create a facade, but what I really want is your money. It'd be more like, babe, get that money. That's how I look. I mean, I could be
Yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
and you're by all means you're welcome to like throw it in my face. But I've always felt that women were more covert with their motives than men. Men aren't smart enough or conniving enough or even have enough time to be that covert, to be that malicious, to be that conniving. In my opinion,
Right. Right.
that's
Right.
how I
Yeah.
see.
We don't have that level of that level of
Yeah, the
that
typical
that
man.
that
Yeah,
that 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 cunning attitude,
yeah, yeah,
that cutthroat attitude. We don't have that.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm
You know,
not saying that there is no, again, they're not saying no guys that don't have that. They're probably
mhm.
guys
The
who
typical
you
man, right?
who you will probably witness a few here and there in your lifetime, but overall experience, no. I don't think women top that. Women top that 100%.
Hmm.
They tower over us when it comes to that. And
Hmm.
um, I have a real, not a bad issue, but a real, like a real big thing when it comes to the old school way of doing things in relationships. And the reason
Hmm.
why I say that is because I'm not knocking the old fashioned people who say, the guy is supposed to work 5 days a week and bring in the bacon, and the woman's
Hmm.
supposed to
Hmm.
cook and clean. I'm not saying that because nowadays women are actually making a lot more than men when it comes to certain jobs. They're becoming CEOs, they're becoming presidents, and kudos to them. And that's fucking fantastic. I respect that, and I want more of that actually. But at the same time,
Do we
um,
really?
I don't mind it, man. I don't mind it because you know. Okay, there's a lot of crap, especially in our last podcast, the Geek Bros. We have a individual, one of our good friends, who speak about this and have a who have somewhat of a vendetta when it comes to women being in specific roles in life.
Hmm.
And I'm not hating
Allegedly.
on him. Allegedly, I'm not hating on him. I'm not knocking him because he has his views, and
Hmm.
he's openly and honest about it, and I respect that 100%. And
Hmm.
he's a great dude. So
Yeah, yes,
I
yes.
I yeah I wholeheartedly understand where he's coming from, but you know I get it also because in this and I can give you a perfect thing. I can give you a perfect example when it comes to being in relationships. If you have an overbearing woman who feels as if she needs to be the on top, she needs to be the top, as they say. I don't know if you've heard of that term
Well,
when it
I mean,
comes.
I do like a woman on top, so that's actually my favorite position. Wait, what are you talking about? I'm sorry, I thought we were talking about something totally different, focused on something
Did
else.
did you know that position actually? Oh, you know what? Not the wrong pocket. No, let's not even talk about this right now.
Okay,
Uh,
all
yeah,
right. Next
I
time,
won't,
next
won't
podcast.
get into that. Won't get into that. Yeah, next podcast.
That's hot.
But
That's hot.
this is gonna be steamy one. Maybe we should probably invite people on that one.
Yes, we should.
So I have a thing where I feel like the old-fashioned way of dealing with things when it comes to relationships is like the woman doesn't need to be doing all that domestic work, doesn't need to be doing any of that. I don't believe in
Hmm.
that. I personally don't believe in that. So at the
No, of
same
course.
time,
You could you say 50-50?
I say 50-50, 100%. I think it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it should be a balance, a 50-50 balance. And that's the problem that I have. And this is what I was, countless arguments with my current fiance that I've had to discuss with her in the first year that we've been together was the 50-50 balance to her is non-existent. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. You're a man. You have a penis. You should have bank.
Mm-hmm.
What? Are you kidding me right now? Like that's the whole that's your theory. That's your
Mm-hmm.
fucking MO. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in
So
that.
how did you? Because I'm sorry for me, but that would be a deal breaker for me.
I
If a woman
no.
said that to me, it's deal breaker. I'd be okay. Well, you need not to be dating me. But how did you? Not to say that I don't make bank. I'm not gonna make bank in the future. Listen, I'm very ambitious, and that's my plan. But I don't need a woman to tell me that's my role. No, I'm very domesticated. I take care of my own place right now. Okay, I wash my own dishes. I cook my own food. So I
It
don't
does
need you
go.
to tell me what I need to do or what's expected of me. That's for me to decide. But that's a deal breaker for me. How did you get over that? How did you smooth out that hurdle? That's a huge hurdle.
It is a huge hurdle. Or I should say, it was a huge hurdle.
Was right.
Yeah, it was because we don't really have that. Again, we don't have that problem no more. We kind of like, again, it was a huge,
Mhm.
huge hurt. Think about as if those people who do those people who do that pole, the running
Mhm.
pole move with
Yeah.
jumping. Yeah, I had
Pole
to like
vaulting,
pretty
right?
right pole vault. There you go. I had to. Mine was probably like up to the clouds when it came.
Right.
Um,
But you vaulted over it. So like how did you do that?
it was. I felt like it was a combination of two things. It was a combination
Mhm.
of taking a gamble and
Okay.
what's the worst that can happen, and the second thing was um, being as patient as I can because I knew that there was more.
Okay.
I felt something in my, I guess the cliche thing is to say heart and mind, that there
Hmm.
was more to it. And lo and behold, after countless discussions and her ridiculous ideology when it comes to this, we happen to finally come to a understanding and a balance. Whereas if one person is in trouble, one person is
Hmm.
needs his support, then that's how we do it. We support each other, and that's how it's
So
always been.
communication, eventually communication and understanding is what, which is I guess very cliche. So you
Huge.
mean you were in a relationship,
Yes, and that's
a
the
healthy
difference.
relationship, basically. Is that
Yes,
communication and understanding? Gee,
but
what a concept. No?
right. But here's the thing, though. Then I agree with you 100%. But here's the thing. It was completely different than what, like, when you told me your situation about what she said to you off the bat. To
Right.
me, that felt like it was a little bit more. It was just more intimidating. Not intimidating, but it was more outlandish. Something that I didn't expect, like a woman to say.
Right.
Uh, at least like not even in the first month, man. Come on, like that time wise to me is so ridiculous and why it's fucking odd to me that she had said that the first month that you guys been seeing each other. And I felt like if she had said that maybe like a year down the line, I would have been like, oh well, you guys have been close, you guys have been seeing each other, gone on dates, did what you had to do,
Right,
intimately.
of course. We established a bond, a rapport, a connection. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was all that was there, but it was still very early in its infancy. It was too early for at least in my opinion. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. But okay, well, before we wrap this up, how about this? What is your criteria, or what would you say you need to go through or happen for you to be able to feel like a woman, is finally deserving or on that level with you to come out of pocket to pay a bill? What was your criteria to say, okay, I think it's time that, yes, I can help you out financially, we can rely upon you financially? What is your criteria?
It needs to be first of all, it needs to be an understanding off the bat when you guys are first dating. There
Hmm.
needs to be an understanding because not everybody is like me and you. Like Jason and I have this. I wouldn't say we have this sixth sense, but we have a real. We have a lot of experience and a knack. I can't believe I'm saying this because like it's so outlandish and weird, but at the same time it's not because we've been through so much shit
We
that
have.
it kind of like balances itself out. So you have to have like in my opinion, I think you have to have an understanding. It all starts from the top of the food chain. You have
Hmm.
you have to discuss this in person to see what type of person they are. Whether this could be established in the first 3 dates. It could be established the first week, but you have to understand and see the signs, the red flags, who and what that person is about. So if they are more fixated on, if they are more fixated on the as they say back in the old days, the dead presidents. Did you know that was a
Hmm.
term for money? Yeah. So
Well, I mean, they also call it the Benjamins. You remember back in
exactly.
the day, all about
Oh
the
God.
Benjamins.
Oh my God. We're old. This is fucking crazy.
Yes, yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So yeah, but if you see red flags and signs of a woman that is mainly about that talks about that has conversations pertaining to that category, and there's nothing else really that interests her except for that in itself, that
Hmm.
should be to me at least, I don't know about how you feel, Jay, but to me, that feels like it's a red flag. And if you see that
Well,
constantly happening,
if you see it, but here's the sad part about those that is that the phrase, and don't come at me, woman, that ladies, no, I'm just saying ladies can hide their crazy for a while. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So as
yes,
much as you say look for it, they can hide that stuff. Like again, I'm telling you right now, the first month of me dating that woman, I had no idea this was coming. It threw me off so badly that I reacted the way I reacted
been at your game, man,
at
for a
first.
while.
Huh?
You've been at your game for a while.
No, dude. Well, I mean, I've been
Yeah, I'm
dating
seeing,
for the last
I'm
year, but I'm
seeing.
saying like is that there was no sign there. You know what I'm trying to say? And
Yeah,
I find it funny because when I asked my mom, "Hey, what did you think about her?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. It's too fresh." And I was
yeah,
like, "Hmm,
yeah.
that's an interesting response." And I was like, "Oh, this is my mom. Nobody's good enough for me for me." But no, in reality, she probably was like something's a little off about her
Right.
probably.
Did you even say that? Like, was that even a thought in your head? Like what you just said. Like, did you even think, oh yeah, something might be off about her? Did you even say
No,
that?
no.
Nothing. Not even
I knew
close
she,
to.
I listen. I knew she had a little bit of baggage. We all have baggage, okay? Unfortunately,
Real.
unfortunately, I'm a proud single father. You know what I'm saying? I have two boys that are with me part time all the time. I'm not that weekend father. No, and some girls can't handle that because I'm really involved. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that being said, you know, I don't fault anybody who have their own baggage. She had her own baggage, and she was going through something very similar to what I went through a decade ago with my kid's mom. So I don't judge. I've been there.
Right.
I've been on that roller coaster ride. I know exactly what you're dealing with. So, other than that, there was nothing that I saw um that was like, yo, I need to like, watch this chick. No,
Yeah.
she seemed. That's why I even wrote in the text. I said you don't seem like the same humble woman that I met. Like, what happened all of a sudden? Like, where is this
Right.
coming from?
Right.
So, stuff like that. So no, but what is it? Back to the question I was asking you before you even consider paying a bill for your significant other. What criteria are you looking for? What has to happen first? You gotta be in love. You gotta be on a certain amount of dates. You gotta be together for a certain amount of time. What is your criteria?
In my opinion, I think it has to be time. I'm gonna go with time. I'm gonna go with time for 1,000. Actually.
I'm gonna go with time and experience because I believe that enough experiences can equal up to the same amount of time. Some people are together for 2 years and experience almost nothing. Some people can be together for 2 months and experience a lot. I'm gonna go with experience and time, a combination,
Right.
like a happy medium. Okay,
Right.
it needs to be time, but also we need to have enough experience with each other, enough
Right.
history to say,
Yeah.
you know what, and again, you could be wrong, but it has to be earned, and unfortunately she didn't earn it yet. We saw, and I didn't mention out of the 1 month and 1 day we saw each other, but we were dating, we only saw each other 4 times.
Yeah. So when you
Four
told me
times I told you
when
that.
you told me that to me was
we
like,
only, we only
I,
physically spent time together four times in that month and a day.
my mind
So
was
that's another thing I'm talking about. So even was not only was the time too short, but the amount of interaction with each other was too short for her to
right.
feel that comfortable to be like, yo, you're gonna hold me down. I need to know you have my back. Like,
Right.
what?
Yes. To me.
And again, I'm not shitting on her and what her belief is. I mean, if that's her belief, and I'm pretty sure there are women that are listening to this now or will listen to this in the future that will agree with her. If my man can't hold me down from the beginning, then I shouldn't be with you. It's all
Well,
cool.
that's one of the things I've also real quick again before we wrap up, because I wanted to also ask you this real fast, was because what do you in terms of what you just said, do you feel as if a man or a woman should be at their 100% before they even consider going into serious relationships? Do you think what I mean by
Define
100% is
define 100%.
what I mean by 100% is, do you feel as if, because I've heard this before. To me, I don't agree with it. I think it's bullshit. But and I disagree and agree. But do you think that they should be 100% in terms of having a stable job, having at least thousands of dollars in their bank account, having a good savings, having a great house or a great apartment, having a car? Do you think they should be well established before they should step into the serious dating world? What do you
If
think?
that's gonna be the case, then nobody would be getting married
Hey,
until their late 40s. And
ladies and
and,
gentlemen,
and, and that's if you ever get to that point. are we ever, how many people are ever really in this world ever really established, ever truly established? So if you're going to go by that logic, then that there's some people that should never be getting married, that should never be getting into serious relationships.
Exactly.
I've always said this, and it's funny because there was this one girl I was talking to, and she was going through something, and I said, listen, to stop dating just because you're going through something, nobody says you have to go through something alone. Nobody says you have to establish yourself alone. You can
Right.
do it while dating, while meeting somebody. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work out. You're still going with your life. But the fact of the matter is, though, is that nobody has to get established on their own. You
Right,
know,
exactly. And
it
that's the thing that gets
it's
me to the people nowadays.
right.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
not it's not necessary. You don't have to do it on your own. And it's sad part of those that if you do it on your own, it becomes yours. And so
Right.
when you do find somebody, it's not a communal experience. It's I did it. It's me. What did you do? What did you bring? Kind of thing. And because I was saying like for me, the longer I stay single is the less likely I'm going to settle down because the whether it's learning how to be a good dad, learning how to be domesticated, learning how to cook. Somebody once told me, you said, Jay, you know what your problem is, which is why you're right now your life with women is a revolving door. You know what your problem is? It's not about what you bring to the table. Is your table is already set. The china, the placemats, the food, the
That's not a
beverage, the
problem. That's
wine.
not a problem.
It's already set.
That's
All
not a
you need is
problem.
someone to take a seat, and
Right.
that right. It's not, but they said, but that's what your problem is because you've set the table, and everything's ready, and in reality, you can have dinner on your own. You don't need to wait for anybody to bring anything. That's why you have such a low tolerance for females
Right.
and nonsense. But that is a problem though because then you don't have a tolerance, and the longer your food starts getting cold, you're like, look, I gotta start eating. All right, whether somebody's here or not, I gotta start eating. So it's a thing,
No, it,
but
it is. It is. But the way, but to see how the way you look at it and the way woman looks at it is two different things. A woman will look at it and say, and there are some women out there who are so obnoxious and so fucked up about it to the point where it's like, oh, you don't have this and this and this, and you have this history and you have this happening to you, and what
oh
the fuck?
yeah,
You're back and forth with jobs, or you have like baggage with you. Okay, well, I didn't expect all this, but his is, and that's their answer to the men who are in that situation. But at the same time, like
right,
you said, there is nobody in this world unless you have inherited some Kellogg's or some fucking Sony inheritance. Like
exactly.
there's no way you're gonna be well established. And quite frankly, I think that's the only fucking way. I mean, unless again, there's what is it, 5.6 billion, 6 point something billion people on the planet. I'm not
Hmm.
saying everybody's in the same boat, and I don't want to hear people. And there's going to be arguments and feedback that we're going to get. People are going to be like, "Oh well, I wasn't like that, and I'm not like that." Yeah, okay, great, good fucking job for you. But at the same time, at this at the same time, you have people out there. You have people out there who are genuinely good, nice, amazing people like us, and we go ahead and and we go ahead and show you our time, effort, and if you put and if you give us the communication and everything that comes along with having just a great relationship, you will see the financial gain in that because you don't even have to ask; it will just come to you
I
without
agree.
even asking. It will come. But that whole oh, you need to be established shit is complete bullshit. I don't agree
Hmm.
with that. I just think that um, nobody in this world is fully 100% established when it comes to just going into the dating world. You will always have problems when it comes to finances. Student loan is has always been on the rise.
Hmm.
Uh, there are medical bills. There are, if you have children, you probably have to pay X, Y, and Z for their stuff. I mean, it's always going to be a problem. Car payments, mortgage, rent. I mean, no one is ever really established. You have to pay something every fucking month, every single time. So there's
Agreed.
going to be times. There's going to be times where you're going to be shelling out $50 to go to the grocery store, and you have to somehow spend it on fucking ramen noodles. A big pack of water, and maybe if you're a health nut, get some nuts and something like that for you on
It's
the
so
side.
nuts.
But at the same time, everybody's gonna have their issues, and starting off in a relationship, if and starting off in dating, my word of advice is if you feel as if you are ready in your heart and mind, and you feel as if you can give a lot, and you're still on your personal life working as hard as you can to achieve your goals, you should be fine as is. you should be just fucking fine. You will find that person because you will explain to them, I have this ambition, I have this going on. I want to do this, I
The
want to be this.
potential, a person's potential should mean
Exactly.
something.
Exactly.
That's what it boils down to. And you're absolutely right. A person's potential should mean something.
Yes.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
Do you have anything else to comment on that, Jay?
No, dude, that's the best way. That's the best way to end this episode. We're gonna wrap it up here. Episode 1: Should Men Pay? Joe, that was fantastic. Look at you,
Man,
living up to your potential.
Did I tell you, bro, that we had a lot to talk about when it came to this stuff? We have
yes, we did. Absolutely.
We write a book on top of this podcast, and I bet you we do good because
companion book, the Last of the Nice Guys, companion book. Okay. Now on Audible. Please buy.
Have our poses like this, back to back with the arms folded.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We'll be scowling.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just like that. We'll both be wearing wife beaters. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. So definitely, by all means, please check us out on our social media. That's at Last Nice Guys. Last Nice Guys. That's Twitter and Instagram. You can check out our video recaps on youtube.com/Vibrep Studios if you want to watch the nonsense that we do. If you don't want to just listen, then of course there is God, we need an outline. Yes, email us if there's anything about this conversation that touch you. If you want to talk about this girl or the other girl I talked about, or anything that Joe said, or anything about his future nuptials, by all means. I don't want to say that we would give advice, but by all means, if you have any questions or you want to do like a Dear Last Nice Guys, we'll read it and we'll give you our expert opinion, but our expert opinion based upon our experience, not because we're actually experts.
And
I would love to do that.
It would be brutally honest.
It would be honest.
Be honest.
So understand that. Yeah, that's your disclaimers. That if you're going to send us something, we're gonna read it. We're gonna reply. We're gonna be honest about it. Not disrespectful. Honest. So Joe, you want to give them how they can reach you personally if they want to reach you personally, or personally.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter, you can find me JoeTarrro, and Instagram JoeTarrro. Please send me DMs, send me whatever they fucking call.
Slip into his DMs.
Private messages. Slip into my DMs, right? And I get punched in the face tomorrow. So just DM me with any questions or comments or concerns. Even if you don't like us, you like us, I don't care. Let's hear it. I want to hear it. I want to get feedback. I want to read all. Maybe someone out there has a juicier story than ours pertaining to this topic.
But if you're gonna send us juicy stories, you're gonna send it to Last and Nice Guy stuff. Exactly. I'm talking about if you want to talk to Joe personally about his beard or his whack ass headphones, or if you want to know about dyeing your hair and your beard, by all means, or beard balm, or beard shampooing,
come to me.
Reach him. You can. I'm Jason. You can reach me on Vibrep Studios. That's VIBEREVSTUDIOS. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. You see a lot of my studio stuff. I don't do a lot of personal things. It's more all the studio things, and there's a lot that I produce besides Last of Nice Guys, and besides podcasts in general, even though podcasting is seeming to absorb all my studio time. But that's it for Last of the Nice Guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we're glad to be here. So Joe, sign off. Say something. I don't know.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in with us. We will check you out on. I won't tell you our next topic, but we'll just give you the heads up and say that it's going to be another juicy one. Actually, every week is going to be.
Everyone's going to be a juicy one. Yes, you just check it out weekly. At the time of this recording, we haven't really uploaded anything to our server yet, so I can't tell you exactly which day of the week to check out our drops. It probably might be Thursday, since Wednesdays are usually our other thing. But weekly, we definitely will be posting weekly. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys, Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.
This This is an audio production of Vibe Revelation Studios, the cure for your common day. VibeRevStudios.com.